I am taking my life in my hands, standing in the middle of this road in Winchester. And behind me is what really is a sort of duplication of what you saw at the Andover Theatre in Basingstoke. We have the photo call for Jack and the Beanstalk. And we have Jack, who doesn't look like Jack, actually. Looks more like Jackass, or Jacqueline, I suppose. Is that right, Steve?
Well, it's a pantomime, and traditionally the male has been played by a female, and the female being played by a male. Very strange, these arty people, you know? Yeah. Thespians.
Apparently this lady is very well known for her legs, according to the pantomime brochure.
Let's see if I can get it.
Let's have a quick look. I mean, this is what they said. So, what do you think?
Yes, I would actually have to agree with that now.
We're not being sexist, viewers, but it actually did say that in the pantomime brochure. So, if we don't get run over, we'll try and bring you a bit more of the hemline, I guess. But anyway, no. Let's just have a little look over here, and hopefully we'll have a little chat with her in a minute, and see how she feels about being Jack. Amanda, it says here, you're not only praised for your singing and dancing talents, but also your legs.
Ah, yes. Well, you see, well, last year I was here doing Aladdin.
Yeah.
And one critic didn't mention anything about me at all, apart from my legs. So I think that this year they sort of said that Amanda Noar's legs are coming back rather than anything else. Well, I don't know whether I'm happy about that, really.
Well, I think it's pretty good, really. It's not really sexist, but I think it's...
Not at all, no.
I just think it's really good.
Well,
it's good publicity.
You know, I'm showing them all off, really, aren't I? So, you know.
It's awful. Anyway, you're the choreographer as well?
Yes, I am, yeah.
And, so what does that involve in this production?
Well, what I'm going to do in a couple of weeks' time, I'm going to go to a dancing school and audition for the kids. And we're looking for 6 in each team, so we're looking for 12 dancers. And then in the weeks coming up to our rehearsal period, I'll be coming down once a week to teach them the dances, stuff that they can do on their own, because we've got a very short rehearsal period. And then they'll come in and join us sort of after school and everything. And...
What's it like in Winchester? I mean, it's 4 weeks in Winchester. What's the social life like?
I think you overheard a conversation I was having before. No, last year we had a really good time because it's a great company. And this year as well, I know loads of people who are doing it. And I was just talking to our technical manager, and we're going to arrange a few parties and a few this and a few that. Yeah, we'll have a good time. Good.
So there you are, viewers. If you see people rampaging through the streets of Winchester in little short skirts, you know who it is. So anyway, Amanda, thanks for talking.
Thanks a lot. See you.
See you. Bye. Right, we're here with Venassa Amberleigh, the Enchantress. Pretty good, eh?
Sounds impressive, doesn't it? I don't quite know what it means yet, but I'm looking forward to playing the part.
I guess we'll find out.
We will.
Now, you graduated from King Alfred's School in Winchester, so you're a local girl.
Yes, very local, yes. I went to King Alfred's for 3 years, and then I moved away doing various jobs. And just over a year ago, I moved back to Winchester again.
Yeah, it's a great city, I love it, and it's really nice. Some nice nightlife here.
Well, I do too much aerobics, I haven't got time for a nightlife.
You do aerobics?
I teach aerobics and step, locally as well, yes, yeah. So that's my nightlife, really.
So what's it like getting into a pantomime like this? Have you been here before?
I come to the theatre quite a lot now to see all the productions, and they do very good ones here. And I was so excited when I found out I was actually in a local pantomime. Really looking forward to it, yeah. And to be able to say, I'm going home now at the end of it, rather than going back to digs.
But 10:30 in the morning, you've got some of these starts quite early, aren't they? 10:30 to start? Is that early? I don't know.
Well, it's not too bad. I start teaching aerobics at 9 o'clock in the morning, so...
Who could do aerobics at 9? Steve, could you do aerobics at 9 o'clock in the morning?
No. That's on a Sunday morning as well.
Now, Steve the cameraman's been doing this Commit to Get Fit campaign. Are you fit?
No, I shouldn't think so, no.
Do you think Venassa could teach you aerobics?
It's potential. No, there's potential in everyone. Yes, yeah, definitely, yeah.
Steve, you've got potential. All right, so anyway, thanks for talking to us. We'll come back and see you in action as the Enchantress.
Yes, I'll probably be very unfit by then, having had to give up all my aerobic teaching. But I am going to try and keep my Sunday morning classes going. So all my aerobic people out there, I'm not going to give up Sunday mornings.
What's your telephone number so you can tell the viewers? We'll put it on screen just about here somewhere. Tell us your telephone number. Look into that camera and tell... Look into the camera and tell them how to get in touch with your aerobics classes.
Oh, at Applemore Recreation Centre or down at Pink's in Winchester.
So what's the telephone numbers there, do you know, offhand?
Not offhand, no, I'm afraid not. No, they're in the yellow pages.
Okay, so there we are, viewers. If you want to get fit, do aerobics, speak to Venassa at those two places. Okay, thanks for talking.
Thank you.
Right, well, it's the end of the day. It's the end of the photo call, and we've managed to track down the elusive Christopher Scott, who is
quite elusive. No.
who is the director
and burp, a foul expulsion of wind.
Is it really?
It has come to such that it's not a glamorous part, this.
What are you doing clutching all this stuff?
Well, it's so unglamorous, the part, they've actually asked me to get dressed out here, in the fresh air.
In the fresh air.
In the fresh air, that's what I mean.
Jack and the Beanstalk, how are you going to direct that? Where's the Beanstalk going?
I'm going to direct it so it's funny. No, it's family pantomime. It's a safe pantomime you can bring the kids to. You can sit there, the kids enjoy it, and it's good all-round entertainment.
What does Burp do?
Oh, well, Burp is the giant's henchman. He actually goes out collecting all the rents from the people who can't pay the money. Now, you might say, hang on a moment, I'm 6'2", and I'm the giant's henchman. How big is the giant? Well, may you ask. He is enormous. He's the biggest chap I've ever seen.
It's not Nicholas Parsons, is it?
It's not Nicholas Parsons, no. He's the one in the dress. The giant tends to be in sort of man's gear. No, it's going to be good fun.
I think it's going to be fantastic. And
these are costumes from other pantomimes that we just sort of bring along for the photo call. It's just to give them an idea of what sort of things we get up to. Look at this. All from Clark's.
All from Clark's. Well, there we go. That's Jack and the Beanstalk in Winchester on December the beginning of December.
November the 20th. Well, no, December the 2nd, or is it the 7th? And it finishes on January the 7th.
So there we go. This is it. Winchester, Jack and the Beanstalk. Don't miss it. Come and see this man as...
See us. Burp. Big character. Goodbye.
Welcome again to our Cricklade Theatre spot, and as usual we have Peter Redmond, who's the administrator, and he's going to tell us what's going to be happening over the next couple of weeks in Cricklade Theatre. The first one I see is the 15th, which is Saturday night, and that's Death and the Maiden. What's that all about then, Peter?
It's a spine-chilling claustrophobic thriller. It's set in the present, it could be anywhere, that has regained democracy after a long period of dictatorship and oppression, and a lady who has been tortured and imprisoned encounters one of the perpetrators of the crimes, and she wreaks her revenge. It's a very tight sort of play. It'll have you sitting on the edge of your seat, and I can recommend it. It has toured England, it's been in London, and it's a very successful play. Please come.
And that starts at 8 o'clock, and the ticket prices are £4.50 and £3.50.
That's right, yes.
Right.
Keep the prices down, you see.
That's very good. Saturday night especially. So the next one we go on to is Thursday the 20th. Is that the one we're going to talk about now?
The Operatic Society are doing a showstoppers extravaganza, and it's completely sold out. So I'm sorry, no tickets for the Operatic. You have to get in early for those. The following week, on Wednesday the 26th, Oxfam are having a fashion show. Any similarity between them and the Operatic is purely coincidental. They will be displaying lots of clothes which people have kindly given to Oxfam, some really good kit too. And then after the fashion show, the clothes will be on sale. And tickets for that include the price of a glass of wine. They include a glass of wine or a soft drink. and that should get you in fine fettle to go and watch the fashion show.
Fine, so the reception is at 7 o'clock and the show actually starts then at 7:30.
That's correct.
So that's great. And the next one we have is the Pocket Theatre Cumbria. Kiss of the Spider Woman. This intrigues me. What is this one about?
Spider Woman, set in South America. 2 prisoners are put in a cell, and they're hostile towards each other at first, but eventually develop a friendship which must be very rare. I haven't been in prison, so I don't know what it's like. But if you can imagine 2 entirely opposite sorts of people being locked up together, and it's a study of their friendship and how it develops. Pocket Theatre Cumbria have been here before, excellent company, and I think this should be quite an interesting evening.
Yeah, no, I'd like to see that one myself. I think it'd be great. The next one we got is the All Electric Puppet Theatre.
Yes, it's Dragon Island. Dragon Island has been touring for some time now, and this is the last chance you'll ever have to see Dragon Island, because their new show starts next month. So if you have missed it before, do come and see it. It's on Saturday the 29th, and there are still tickets available.
And this is at 2 p.m.
That's right, just one performance.
One performance at 2 p.m.
Yeah.
And tickets are £3 for that one.
Right, yes.
So that's very reasonable indeed.
And then here is a picture I took of me doing exercises this morning. And if you believe that.
Sunday the 30th of October, a gala performance by the European Ballet. And we don't get an awful lot of ballet in Andover, so this should be well attended, I should imagine, as well.
Yes, it stars such people as Natalia Kuznetsova, a Russian dancer, Alexis Manuel, French, Tim Almas, Swedish. He actually dances with the English National Ballet. Tanya Matos, Portuguese, Helen Brennan, Australian, and Stanislav Chasov, who is he was the principal ballet dancer of the Bolshoi Ballet for 8 years, and he leads this company. And it's a gala performance, as you say. We don't get a lot of ballet, mainly because we can't afford it.
No, indeed.
As you see, the tickets are £12 and £10 for concession. And, if you're bringing in European international stars like this, then you have to pay a hefty bill.
Which
but
is
we do try to bring quality to our theatre in Andover.
Well,
and we're certainly doing it on this night. There we are.
Well, by everything we've gone through, there is quality in depth there. I mean, there's something for everybody, really.
Oh, yes, yes.
So, once again, Peter, thanks very much for coming in.
My pleasure.
And hopefully you'll be in a couple of weeks' time to update us on what's happening then.
Meanwhile, form a queue outside the box office. Bye.
Well, hi viewers, welcome to this week's show. As I said last week, we normally spend our time down in Hampshire, but this week we've travelled about, how many miles? I don't know, Steve, how many miles have we travelled this week?
Well, I travelled a lot less than you have, because I came by air, you see. Well, 45 minutes it took me to get here, and how long did it take you?
It took me about 2.5 hours to drive all the way from Andover up to Sandy in Bedfordshire. And we're up here, and behind me, if you focus in on these guys, we're with the Blue Eagles. Now, this is the Blue Eagles' last event this year, and we've been following them all year, and they've been absolutely excellent. So they've been doing a really, really good job. And we're just going to wander through here and have a little chat with Dave here. Dave. So what's been happening?
What's been happening?
You flew this cameraman.
This idiot.
Idiot. Say that to all the Andover idiots.
He's got to be barking to come with me, isn't he?
Well, took him on a trip.
Yeah, we came up from Wallet, and we did a bit of formation stuff, so we had a look at that.
Yeah. Is he a good passenger?
Well,
Shh.
careful, you may only say this once.
Say that again?
I said, be careful what he says.
Okay. I'm sure Steve's a good flyer.
No, he is. Yeah, I took a guy earlier on in the season when we were up at Cranfield, and the guy was in the back taking a few stills. And when we got into a couple of the manoeuvres, I checked over my shoulder to see if it was all right. And the camera was on the floor, and the guy was hanging onto the back of the seat for dear life. But
Steve will never drop his camera.
No, he didn't drop the camera, and he kept filming. And we were there, but I did hear the odd. Oh no! Coming from the back of the aircraft.
Probably his breakfast. Fighting together.
Twice. Yeah. No, he's okay. It's good.
So hopefully we'll see a bit of the action of those shots. Probably coming up right now.
It's a kind of magic. The bog standard left-hand display recce. We'll attempt to identify this point, and I think that village will be your best marker for your crowd left running marker there. Run down the strip. There's a building here which we will hopefully spot for the for 5's running marker.
Go. We're just blown over a whole load of cars, so we'll need to be a high harbour. We'll be able to see much from here because clear. Brake, go. Turn up, go. Turn, go. Turn up, go. Full reverse, go. Turn, go. Okay, this is the first crossover. You get Alan through the left front windscreen. And we're going to, as soon as we go past him, we're going to pull into the loop, so stand by. Alfie, go up and left. Next to the pedal turn, we'll pull it up and turn it round to the right. 2, pedal, go. Up we go. 2, down, go. Crossover coming, look over my shoulder, there's Alan coming through the smoke, he appears through the loop, there he goes. 2 turn, go, 1 turn to the left. 2 right cross, go. Okay, that's the first bit over and done with, we now run out, we're going to go and join Drew and Steve. All in tempo. Got the crossover coming up front. Crossover, go. Go. Pedal, go. Turn, go. Turn, go. 270, go. Go. Turn, go. Just say about one rotor span. Steady go, go. And up we go to the left. Okay, I'll over the left-hand side there. We just gently roll it over. Nice and gentle. Just follow the tool there. And then we're looking out for the boys on the left-hand side. There they are. 3. Here we go. Nice turn left, nice turn left. Go. That's your lot. 2 leads, you lead yourself back in. Lead is going to the right to Cranfield, DB Freighter, all nice. 2 right up, 3, 4, 5. Lights off, go. Stand by the strobes. Red upper, go.
So, here's some of the other guys here that we should be talking to. So here's Al. Al, how was it? How's the year been for you so far?
Fine.
I need these to protect me from the lights because...
The tube stuff.
So how's it going?
Good.
You've had a good time?
Yeah, excellent time, yeah. And this is the only one I'm doing, by the way. Yep, okay.
This is the only one you're doing?
This is
the only interview you're doing?
The first and the last interview.
I think you're doing a really good job.
Okay. This is the last interview, and it's also the first, all right?
So where were you when...
It's brilliant.
Where were you when Steve was flying with you today? What aircraft are you?
I was in Gazelle number 2, or Eagle 2.
Did you see him, Steve? Did you see him flying?
No, I couldn't see Steve. No, he was well outside the rear view mirror. Yeah, I couldn't see him at all. It's so far behind, it's just a dot in the windscreen, yeah.
And who's this here?
This is my lovely lady wife, Julia.
Julia, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Say a few words.
No, I couldn't possibly.
You couldn't possibly. What's it like being involved with this guy?
Murder. Tell the truth.
It's lovely. Yeah.
Is it hard for you, sort of, coping with all this? So, I mean, it's quite a long year, really, isn't it? And they're on the road all the time.
Are you serious now? Yeah, it's hard, but I've been lucky because I've been able to come with him on a lot of the trips. But it's difficult for the girls who've got children who can't get away. I mean, it's easy for me because I can just come, but it is hard.
So it's been a long year, hasn't it? They've been flying all year since February, I guess?
March, first ones, yeah. And yeah, it's hard. It's every weekend, and after a while you just get absolutely sick and tired of it.
It's a bit like being with a rock and roll band on tour, I guess, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. It's probably a bit better than that.
A bit better than that. Well, you shouldn't get the groupies anyway, I'll do. No, that's not the question. So anyway, thanks for talking to us. We're just going to talk to this gentleman here. How are you doing?
Very well.
It's been a few weeks since we saw you last.
Yeah, it has been a while.
Did I hear there's a little promotion in the offing, is that right?
Yeah, I got slightly more crusty yesterday.
So what are you now?
No, major.
There you are, a major. Viewers, we're now talking to a major here. So how's the season been for you?
It's been outstanding. Really, really enjoyed it. It's been a long season. It's beginning to feel like a very long season. But
we're now October the 1st, so it's been quite a long time, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think early May when we first displayed, but actually end of March, beginning of April when we started our build-up training. So it's been an amazingly long time, and it feels I can't remember life before the '94 season really. But
so where are we this weekend? Where are we?
We're at Old Warden, which is the home of the Shuttleworth collection, which doesn't have any helicopters in it, so there's no direct link in that sense. However, I hope we'll give them something different.
Okay, fantastic. So you've got about 3 weeks left till the end of the season, is that right?
Well, this is our last public event. We've got one final display which will be done for an internal event for a wings parade back at our base, and that will be the end.
So you're going to be with the team next year?
No, I'm off. I'm posted in a month's time, so really as soon as the season closes, I'm off.
You're going to miss it?
Yes.
Yes.
Simply, yes, I will.
I think you guys have really sort of formed a good bond between each other, haven't you, really?
Yeah, it's been a fairly unusual experience. I think we're all welcoming the rest, which is just around the corner, but it has been fun, and we'll have a lot of happy moments.
Well, I've seen some of your displays throwing that links around, which has been quite amazing. So, especially at Middle Wallop, I saw that, and Fairford, and all those places. Absolutely fantastic.
Well, it's been a great honour to be given the opportunity to do that. Really, it's been a lot of fun.
Okay, well, thanks for talking to us, and we'll see you later over dinner.
Yeah.
And on the right of Adam, we've got Major Kevin Emmerson here. Well, no, right, looking at the crowd. Well, all right, okay. All right, so Kevin, Your thoughts on the year?
Yeah, I'm a distinct disadvantage here, Al, because I'm just about to do something else, but wonderful, great.
You've had a good time?
Yeah, yes, yeah, I think, well, Adam would no doubt have said it's been a pretty successful year.
Yeah.
And
have you flown reserve very often? Because you're the boss of the whole thing, but you don't get to fly that often, right?
I threatened the team I was going to break their legs with a hammer or, give them some sort of botulism problem. But nobody dropped out, so unfortunately I didn't have a legitimate reason to fly as a gazelle jock. But what I did do, they all volunteered to let me have their seat for the last couple of shows. But I felt that was a little bit immoral, so 2 or 3 shows left-hand seat length, which is easy because you've just got to pull a lever.
Are you going to be doing the commentating of it again?
Yes, we had a problem with the display practice tonight, which you may have already touched on, but it was the orientation of the display was out, so we're going to have to do another practice tomorrow morning. When we've done the practice tomorrow morning, we're then straight into the show.
So what time's that?
I think it's about 15:20 or something like that. It's a late.
Well, the show's 15:20. What time's the practice?
Our slot's about 15:20. We have yet to work that out. I've left a message on the display director's answer phone, so we're just waiting for him.
I volunteer Al to go up tomorrow in the practice, actually.
Say that again to camera, Steve.
I said I volunteer Al to go up.
What, this Al? Or this Al? No, I'm not. Would I do that? Would I do that? Would I do that?
Need a mobile phone? Then look no further than the Mobile Phone Shop, with phones from £29, line rentals from £8.50 per month, and call charges from just 5p per minute. There is no better value. We can also supply international coverage phones, and we have a complete range of accessories for most makes of mobile phones. Our sales, repair and hire services are second to none. The Mobile Phone Shop, to the Broadway, Andover. Andover's biggest tyre sale is now running at Merry Tyre. Over the next few weeks, thousands of tyres, batteries and exhausts will be sold, all at unbeatable prices. With winter approaching, now is the time to get a genuinely unbiased report from Merry Tyre on the state of your tyres. When fitting new tyres, we recommend they are balanced to avoid vibration, and we will check the wheel alignment to prolong tyre life. We strongly recommend that you avoid part-worn tyres. With only 2mm of usable tread life, they are bad value and could have dangerous hidden defects. Come down to Merry Tyre for the lowest prices on tyres, batteries and exhausts. Or phone Andover 333-044 for your quotation.
Right, well, we've been talking to people who are actually appearing in this pantomime, but we're now here with Phil Yeates, who's the house manager of the Winchester Theatre Royal. Phil, how long have you been in Winchester?
I've lived here all my life. That's 67 years.
Really? And so when can you remember this theatre from?
I can remember it from about 1935 when it was a cinema. It was it started off as a musical in 1914, but it changed to a cinema in about 1922-23. And I remember coming here as a cinema, 1935, seeing the films of Will Hay, Shirley Temple, George Formby, all those type of films.
Oh, fantastic. What sort of changes have you seen in these last few years?
Of the theatre, well, of course, after it closed as a cinema in 1974, I was one of the founder members to save the theatre from demolition, because it was going to be demolished.
Well, you've done a fantastic job in there. I've just been looking around. It's absolutely very beautiful theatre, isn't it?
Yes, well, we tried to restore it back to its original state as it was in 1914, and it took a bit of doing, but we're still under appeal and still want more money to convert the frontal part of the theatre into a wine bar. But we have all the stage work and the friezes around the auditorium, that's come back to as it was in 1914.
As I said, it's very beautiful. So all you viewers, if you want to actually donate some money to the Theatre Royal here in Winchester, give Phil Yeates a buzz, and I'm sure he'll take your money off you.
I certainly will.
Well, here we are with Phil, actually back in the theatre, and Phil, we've got this music going for the production tonight. They're just doing a dress rehearsal, but it's quite creepy music. How about this ghost that walks down here?
Oh yes, the ghost. Well, it's all connected with that crest over the proscenium arch, and when the theatre was built in 1914, it was built by two brothers, John and James Simpkins, and on the crest used to be the initials JS. Now, that could stand for John Simpkins or James Simpkins, and James was the manager who really ran the theatre. John was like the sleeping partner, and John said to James, I want the initials changed to J and JS, and James promised it would be done. But it never was, and John died before James, and it is said that his ghost comes from the dressing room along this passageway here, which is called the Ghost Walk. Yes, you're treading on it now.
Treading on the Ghost Walk, yes.
And it goes round the corner there, and he's supposed to go into one of the boxes there, look at the crest, and then disappear through the wall. And one of our stage managers, who's not with us anymore, but she swears blind, she saw an apparition in a Wardian dress disappear through that wall one day.
Whether it's a school day or a holiday, it's always summer at the Rapids of Romsey. You can swim the exciting rapids and ride the giant flume, or get wet, wet, wet in the features pool and spa. If you want to look good and feel great, try the fitness and health suites, where expert advice is always available. Afterwards, meet your friends in the coffee shop. The Rapids is family fun for everyone, so come on down and get in the swim of the Rapids.
Here we are on the West Portway Industrial Estate, and I don't know, if you're driving around the West Portway, you'll see a sign on the wall of 4 buildings which says PIC. Well, I've always wondered what PIC meant, and we've come along this morning to find out. And 10 years ago, 5th of November 1984, PIC came to Andover. And we've come this morning to talk with Tony Cullen. Now, Tony's the managing director of PIC, and PIC stands for Plastic Insulated Cables. Tony, good morning.
Hi. How are you?
Thanks for inviting us around.
That's all right, you're welcome.
So what do you do here?
We manufacture telephone cable, basically, or started off making telephone cable 10 years ago, and we've recently moved into computer cable for networking computers in offices. It's rather exciting.
Has it been a good 10 years?
Yeah, it was tough at first. It really was tough at first because we brought 12 people down from Slough. We had to recruit quite a few people initially, and then there's a lot of training. And it was fairly tough moving a company. But I don't regret it one little bit.
Do you like Andover?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. I love the area. Yeah.
You live here, do you?
I live in Stockbridge actually now, but you can tell from my accent that I don't hail from these particular parts. But there's no way I would go back north.
And in '91 you had a management buyout, is that right?
Yeah, we did, yeah. We were owned previously by the Murphy Group, the guys who dig up roads and install cable in the ground. And we had an opportunity in '91 to buy the company. And the 5 directors did it then. Again, don't regret that at all.
Okay. And you manufacture everything from telephone wires to high-tech computer wires?
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
So there are, viewers. If you want to know where your telephone wire comes from, we're going to show you. So Tony's going to take us down and show us the raw materials on the manufacturing stage. Okay?
Okay, fine.
Step this way, as they say, in typical TownTV tradition. Follow me into this room here, and I've been told to expect something quite special. Good heavens, look at that. Thousands and thousands and meters of...
What we've got here is all the raw materials for manufacturing the cable. You can see empty reels that the finished cable's put on. Then in the boxes there we've got polythene, PVC, and at the far end of the warehouse there are big drums of wire, which we'll see shortly.
Is most of this produced in this country, or do you import stuff in?
Almost exclusively in this country.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Not necessarily manufactured in this country, but we certainly buy it from offices in this country.
Okay, absolutely amazing. So You just don't realise when you're cruising past West Portway what are behind these facades. And here we are, now you can see. So it's all different types of raw material here then?
Cardboard reels, plywood reels. These are made in Cumbria actually. The cardboard reels are made in Cumbria. These are made in Yorkshire, the plywood ones.
Right. Actually, we're filming at Merit Tyres in the week, and they've got thousands and thousands of tyres, and it did remind me a bit, didn't it remind you, Steve?
Oh, very slightly, yes. Just stacked up, yes.
Stacked up.
So what we're looking at here, in the plywood boxes, it's PVC. That's manufactured in Aycliffe, County Durham. The Borealis material is polythene that we use for insulation and sheaths of the cables.
Well, it's an immaculate warehouse, I must admit. It's very clean and tidy, isn't it?
Well, we try.
Yeah. I suppose you have to in this industry, though, don't you, really, to keep things...
Well, we're BS575 approved, and that, to a large extent, insists that we have to be organised. Yeah. I think if you're organised, then your factory runs smoothly anyway. That's what we try to maintain. On the left here, we're looking at, you can't really see them, but they're colour master batches. The compounds that we buy, the PVC compounds that we buy, are naturally coloured. We then have to add colour concentrates to identify the cores and sheaths of the cable later on.
Right, okay.
We're just coming up now to the copper storage area.
Right, this is it. Here we are, Steve. There's some copper for you.
Indeed. That's actually a drum of copper that's come in from Germany. It's 7 wires of 0.2 millimetre twisted together in a very short lay length, and this is used in computer patch cable. Some of the other wires here, the Johnson drums there, they come from Yorkshire, from Wakefield, and the blue ones are from Llanelli in South Wales.
Well, it's good you're buying your stuff from this country, isn't it, which keeps the old workforce going.
Sure, yeah, we try to support the UK all the time.
Yeah, that's really good. So where are we off to next?
You see here, just before we move out to that, March packaging, the boxes, they're made the other side of Andover, on the Walworth estate.
Oh, well, that's good. Keeping business at Andover, so that's all. So how many workforce you got here, Tony?
We have 108 now.
108 makes you quite a big employer in the town then?
Yeah, sure. We operate 24 hours a day on a 3-shift system, 3 8-hour shifts. So we've about 20 people on a rotating shift on production.
So somebody here all the time?
Sure, yeah. There's, I think, 24 hours in the day when there's nobody here, and then the place is very secure anyway.
Absolutely fantastic. Where are we going now?
We're just walking down now from the raw materials store over to the manufacturing area, which is Unit 3. And that's a self-contained manufacturing unit. We start off manufacturing the core. We'll twist the core into telephone pair, lay the pairs up, and then sheathe the finished product.
So we can actually show the viewers how the telephone cables are made?
Yep, right from the start to finished cable.
Okay. Well, in we go, following Tony. A bit noisier in here. So, it's quite nice and warm in here too, Steve. So, nice and warm in here.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of heat generated in these machines.
Yeah.
And the compound that we're extruding here is extruded at circa 180, 190 degrees C. So there's a lot of heat put out. In fact, we spend more money extracting heat than we do actually heating the building. We have 6 machines in front of us here now, and these are all for manufacturing the core. So we're actually putting a plastic coating onto bare copper wire. There's a large drum of copper wire. That drum contains about 2 tons of wire when it's delivered to PIC, and we fly it off up through the cone and then down into the head of the extruder. So here we've got a 0.5 millimetre tin copper wire going into the back of the extruder. The extruder here is a long steel tube. The bore of that tube is 80 millimetres diameter, and inside the tube there's an Archimedean screw. PVC compound is drawn from the plywood boxes there under vacuum up to the top of the machine, and then it drops under gravity down to the back of the screw. the screw's driven, and as it's driven round, so it carries the compound forward and puts a coating of plastic onto the wire. This unit here then, it's controlling the diameter, it's monitoring and controlling the diameter. So we've got a light source and a light receiver.
Yeah, is there a light there, Steve?
And the difference between the two is the diameter of the wire.
That would be very difficult if all the colours were the same, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would. Yeah, if you couldn't identify the separate colours, it'd be impossible for the fitters. Do you not have a word with Janet here?
Janet, morning. Are you shy this morning, Janet?
Yep, why not?
Where do you live?
Lancashire.
In Lancashire. Say hello to all your friends on TownTV. Say hello.
Hi.
After the diameter monitoring, the core passes into an ink printer, which puts a ring marking on the outside of the core, again for identification at a later stage. Then the core passes into a water trough, a cold water trough, so that compound at 180 degrees C is then chilled very quickly. That core is now moving at a speed of 1,000 metres a minute. Some of the instrumentation here, this particular one is used to measure the eccentricity of the insulation. So our aim is to get it concentric all the time.
What's eccentricity? Tell the viewers.
It's the...
layman's English.
Yeah.
The width of the...
No. It's the circularity and even thickness of PVC around the wire. That's a very even thickness all the way around.
And the cable continues, Steve. Look at this. It goes on and on and on. What's this machine now, Danny?
What we're looking at in here, probably better if you look inside the end there. This is the take-up of the core machine that we were just looking at. And it's a dual reeler. Again, running at 1,000 metres a minute, taking up that core. Once that reel's full, it'll automatically change over and pass the core onto the empty reel, which is running at the same speed. So we never actually stop production. Only if we want to change colour or change the wire do we stop.
24 hours a day, that's quite staggering.
24 hours a day, yeah.
There's different coloured strands here.
This is the output from that particular machine. Yeah. You can see a blue-white one there, which is similar to what we're making now.
Paul, you enjoying yourself here?
Yes.
What's your name? Second name?
Wilson.
Paul, do you live in Andover?
Lancashire.
Lancashire, another person from Lancashire. Hello, look around and say hello to your friends.
Hello?
Well done. Is this some tough work to do? Quite exacting though, isn't it? Really got to be...
To get the centre and to keep it consistently. But once it's got it, runs okay.
That's fascinating.
Come to Red Rice Health and Fitness for a fully equipped gymnasium, a wide range of aerobic and circuit training classes, squash and squash coaching, a licensed bar with bar meals available. Red Rice Health and Fitness, Andover's premier fitness club, is situated off the A343 to Salisbury, only 5 minutes from the Andover town centre. Phone Andover 710-555 for membership details.
All the Corollas have been carefully developed to be exceptionally comfortable and extremely well equipped. Each one has an RDS stereo radio cassette. Select your favorite FM program and the radio automatically tunes to the strongest signal. Every model has central locking, intermittent wash wipe, remote fuel flap release, and on all models except the Estate, a remote boot release. Internally adjustable headlamp leveling and rear seat head supports are also fitted to every model as standard. The height adjustable seat belts, tilt-adjust steering wheel and power steering are also part of the standard equipment for every Corolla. GL and executive models also have a height and lumbar adjustable driver's seat. And in addition to all these features, the executive liftback specification adds electric door mirrors, electric sunroof, electric windows, front and rear, and alloy wheels.
The sun's shining, the birds are singing, Steve's not being sick. Well, no, I didn't mean to say that, Steve, really. But I would just like to say, before we go on to the next item, what a hero Steve was going up with the Blue Eagles, weren't you, Steve?
No comment.
No comment. I think his cameraman of the year, he's going to have an award, I think, at the end of this year for that Blue Eagle stuff, because he was going up and down, and poor guy was being sick and still carried on filming. So all you people who watching this programme, just remember what sterling work Steve the cameraman does for you, the people of Andover. Wasn't that nice, Steve?
Sorry, I just bashed the mic. Yes, that was very nice of you, yes.
I thought it was very nice of me. But anyway, besides Steve flying, a few months back, Dave Bullis, where are you? Dave Bullis went up in a balloon. And we filmed him early one morning going up in a balloon. And that was great fun. So we're going to bring you up. We had lots of requests for this bit, actually. Well, Dave, if you're out there, please come back. We do love you, really. See you in a minute.
I wonder what I'm doing in the field. It's a late October morning, very early in the morning. If I was to say two words to you, Per Lindstrom and Richard Branson, you'd think one of two things, music or hot air ballooning. We were actually out just outside of Sparshot, it's near Winchester, Stockbridge Way, and I'm going up in a hot air balloon. So it's myself and Tony and Alan, and it's a little bit cold this morning. Alan's not going out. He said he's going to bottle out on this one. He said, I'll leave this one to the professionals. But they're inflating the balloon at the moment, and it's for the company called Champagne Hot Air Balloon Flights. We'll take a wander with it this way. Come on, let's go and have a look. That's Lizzie over there. She's holding it up. She's organised it all, apparently. Downstairs, he's going to shoot off in the chase vehicle. We're going to be talking to him in a little while. He's going to tell us what he wants us to do, because we've got one of these things. But he's going to chase us around. But it's It's quite an experience, to say the least. Leaping up off the ground. Quite nuts. I'm quite enjoying this. What do you think?
I'm terrified.
You're terrified? This is the man who's actually in charge of it.
Yeah, you'll have to excuse us as we're talking if I burn. It's not because I'm rude or I'm bored with your conversation, it's just because we need to keep it.
I'm about 10 minutes now. About 10 minutes?
Yeah, it's always here.
So, we've got to come in.
No, 5 years.
5 years. And you're just like not a flight plan?
Not a flight plan. Before you get airborne, you get as full comfort as you can, and you work out where you're going. You want to get your...
My glass?
We obviously want to get as far away as possible from you, don't we?
Oh, all right.
You're right.
Look at that.
Get the glass under
Look at that.
There we go. The more of this you have, the better the ride to the hospital seems.
Wow. This is one happy... It's noisy up here. This is one happy chappy at the moment, reporting from about 1,000 feet off the ground in a hot air balloon. Something I've always wanted to do. But, we'll catch you again in a minute. I'll probably send you off to see some adverts, but it's a bit nice, isn't it?
Shopping is closer to you, the Chantry Centre.
Stores full of gifts and good things, Christmas lights, a festive atmosphere, warm and comfortable surroundings, and of course, Father Christmas. Enjoy your Christmas shopping this year at the Chantry Centre. The Chantry Centre, everything you need for Christmas in the centre of Andover.
Feeling great, it's the Chantry Centre. Looking good, it's the Chantry.
Right, well, we now seem to have lost the balloon. Last time I saw them, they were disappearing into the mist over a bank of trees. And now I'm following Ian and Lindsay around Romsey, and we seem to have been driving round and round and round looking for them. I hope my intrepid explorers are okay. I'm sure they will be.
Used to be a controller at Southampton.
Controller?
Air traffic controller.
Air traffic. Well, I used to
Yeah.
be in the Air Force doing that same thing. Ever go to Pressley?
Only visiting, no. I went around the centre at Pressley.
Yeah, I used to work at the centre.
Oh, right.
So you grew up as well?
Yeah. Got a proper job.
Put them on retrieve, someone.
Some
big wide eyes.
My God, this man is a maniac. Welcome back from the break. I've got one thing to say to my puppet away. She knows what I mean. It's fine, none of you lot will understand it, but there you go. It's a real nice flight. It's only a short little hop we've had so far. Just passed over it. It's really spectacular, some of the scenery. When you get above it, we've just flown over, I suppose you'd call it a small forest or small wood, and the different colours of it. I mean, just unreal. It's so peaceful as well. I was quite surprised in regards to that. It's quiet, except when that thing goes off. It's quiet. It's not like air travel as such. I think Alan's downstairs in the chase vehicle, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, still on the road, still looking for them. I think we've now driven about 10 miles.
I'll be down there again in a minute.
How's it going out there?
It's unusual to say the least. You're sort of, I don't know, about 1,500 feet off the floor or whatever, and things just seem to go by really slowly. But I'm sort of stood at the edge of the basket at the moment, clutching a bottle of champagne, and thoroughly enjoying myself. What's it like down there?
Oh, it's very, very cold and very miserable, and we're sat in the middle of the country. I just think you disappeared behind the treetop.
with a little flame coming out. I hope you're all right.
Yeah, it's quite warm up here actually. It's very surprising. It's nothing like I've ever experienced before.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, well, keep recording for TownTV viewers and we'll catch up with you in just a minute.
I'll tell you one thing, it's nice and warm up here as well.
Yeah, it's pretty warm than down here actually, over.
I'll speak to you in a bit.
We'll be back.
Yourself in there then. Yep.
I'm getting ready to land at the moment. It's been an intriguing flight. It's been an enjoyable flight. It's not been too rough, but now we're coming to the landing bit. I'm not too sure about this, but I'm assured by Gary that if I sit down here, put my head between my knees, that everything will be okay.
Yes, this is the point in ballooning where a deep belief in religion helps. Feel that blast of wind now? Yeah. All right, for dramatic effect. Okay, here we go. Another one.
What do you think of that then, mate?
That was all right.
That was.
Was that a cockeyed?
I quite enjoyed that, didn't you?
Whew. That was excellent.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that spot of ballooning with the intrepid Dave Bullis. Before we close this week's show, I just want to say to you, ring us now on Andover 335556 now, Andover 335556, to still get your wonderful £89 advert on TownTV, twice a day, 7 days a week on TownTV. 3 and 6, we will make an advert for you for £89 and screen it for 30 seconds. So keep watching TownTV. Anyway, to close the show with the rolling credits is the Shuttleworth Air Collection. We went out there last week with Steve when he was doing the Blue Eagles thing. They've got a wonderful collection of aircraft bits and pieces. So here we are. Here comes the Shuttleworth Collection. Thanks for watching the show, and goodbye, Andover.